The one I wanted to mention was I did a classic Dan King thing to this guy that's like writing his own music. And he's got all these videos of like he writes the beat or plays the thing, and then the caption is like, come up with lyrics for this beat or for this melody.
Like a duet type thing?
Yeah. Kind of like, and he's like, and he starts playing the intro, and then he points like verse 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
like that. And classic Dan King, I'm like, this is already a song. I posted the lyrics. I'm like, I can write your whole song. Here you go. I don't ever post on things like this, but I was just like, this guy needs to know
the same music.
Needs to know that like if he knew this song, he would just like, okay, guys, we can't go any further with this melody or this thing I've been writing.
I've come to terms with any song idea that I might just begin. You're gonna immediately have an association to 2 to 3 other songs. Oh, that's that. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be something different.
Well, and as you know, not every impression or reminder of something is like a bad
you
thing.
don't ever say that as like a don't do it. You're saying it as like this reminds me of.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
You also have a large melodic discography in your mind. Like you can associate, because you've heard a lot of music.
So just as soon as he starts playing it and he's like, go, and I'm like, I sang the entire song. So you sang it? Oh. I just sang it not there as a reply, but just like to myself. I just sang the whole thing.
You should have sang it there. And you would have been like, okay.
It's like, thanks for the karaoke track. But the other thing I was mentioning is kind of ridiculous, where like you send them a song.
They review it?
Yeah, and they play it on their live, if they're going live TikTok.
So they have a good size
channel.
You just
submit it, and you got like a bunch of people in a queue, and you can pay to get expedited, and then they they listen to at least a minute of your song, and they review it, and if it's like over a 6.5 or over a 7, then they'll share it with their members, or they'll use it somewhere or something like that.
How big is the community?
It varies on the individual, because you've got someone that is like in LA, has helped produce some things. They may have a couple plaques behind them, or, awards or what have you. And then you've got, just some rando dude who's like, I'm a producer. And then like you look at like what he's produced, and it's his buddy's album in his basement. And now he's just like reviewing people's music to make money,
Right.
I'm like, what's happening? I do want to submit some songs, but like I'm not.
Well, see what happens. Do they have like 1 million followers, or like what's the size?
No, it varies. Like this person may have like 200 followers, and this one may have like 50,000, or you know what I mean?
I guess, yeah. The only reason why you would want to do that is if somebody had a large audience that you're trying to expose your music to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're just looking for some feedback. You're not writing in community anywhere,
Yeah, you're alone. You're in your own little.
I went Dire Straits, so far away from me. When you.
Oh, so far, yeah.
And it made me happy.
Good. You haven't started the clock yet, right?
That clock's always running.
Oh.
We just wrote some new tunes.
We're not supposed to talk about it.
We're not?
No.
By the time this episode comes out, the album might be out.
I'm not supposed to say.
I'm supposed to let anybody know. Nobody's gonna know.
Well, I think we said in the last podcast that we were
ready
to go away.
Yeah, I think we teed writing. Up. Yeah, we were about to go, and
that makes sense.
We talked about sort of that process, and then we go, pack up some gear, and we go and set up a mobile studio, and we break out.
Ooh. Look at that.
Ooh. We break out binders. Yeah, we go old school. We use paper.
Well, not exclusively, but
not exclusively.
We want both. We want options.
I'm not opening it. I don't want to. I don't want light to just hit the camera.
Well,
I want. Remember Superbook?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It opens and the Bible opened and the light would burst out of it.
Ooh, a cool thing about that though, while we were writing new tunes, like we discovered like what does this sound like? They sound like Shiloh Battles tunes.
Yes. We started to go, what is this? This sounds familiar. What is it? Is this? And we could relate back to previous records and be like, oh, that's like this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, felt good.
that was neat.
We have enough music now that we're now sounding like ourselves.
Like in a cool way.
Yeah.
I was celebrating it. I was like, oh yeah, okay. It's not so much like, relating it to this band or that band. It was like, oh, this sounds like Shiloh Battles.
We have a sound.
More of that.
More of that sound.
Which is kind of cool too, since it's I think it's an eclectic sound, which is something I enjoy.
It is. And as I've been listening to what we wrote, because we didn't just write, when we go away, we kind of start the process. We'll write and record, whether all of the recording.
And then go to re-record.
And then re-record. Yeah, we do that. Sometimes what we get, I mean, I don't.
Sometimes the magic. Go ahead, finish the
It's
thought.
the magic. I gotta say magic. Sometimes the magic is just there. You catch it at a time where. Sometimes when you're singing something and you sound like you don't know it, it's bad. Right? It's like, okay, that person doesn't know the song, like they're fishing for melody or words. But then sometimes that's endearing, depending on the tune, where it's so new that you're singing it for the first time. And that emotion and that sort of the innocence, I guess, or the curiosity that you're having while you're discovering melody, you can't get that back.
Like singing for the first time.
We should put that in a song.
That's a good lyric.
Yeah.
That's a good lyric. It sounds like a band I know.
Yeah. We're now quoting ourselves as well.
Oh, this is That's
Oh, now I
that's
know
been
what that
happening
lyric
for a while.
means.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. If only there was a way to say that more succinctly.
No, I'm a big fan of that, and I know as a producer, it's hard because sometimes I'm off. Like sometimes that can be frustrating for singers.
Wait, what?
Well, being told like, dude, the magic was on that take. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a great vocalist. You can deliver. You'll learn stuff. And sometimes you'll be like, I want to re-sing that. And I'm open to that. Like, and I want you to re-sing it. But then sometimes it's like we hear it on the second pass, and then we'll be like, where was the magic's different now? And it happens to me too. And I've done that in the past where I've regretted it, where I've deleted my vocal.
Never delete.
Well, I know when you're
Not
young.
using tape here.
The hard drive space was limited back in the days.
Yeah.
I also didn't know as much as I know now, and so I would go, you know what? And sometimes I would delete it as motivation. You've got to sing it better now.
Yeah.
And then I would listen to it, and it would never be better. And I would have like a bounce of it, so I would have my voice on it, but it wasn't the mix, and I would just live in the shame of like you deleted a vocal that was so much better, trying to motivate yourself to be better, and it didn't work.
Or I can do it again. Let me just get rid of this and do it again.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, maybe I couldn't do it again.
So now I it's been years since I've done that, but save it all, figure it out later. If there's more magic can strike twice on a song.
Do you believe in magic?
I hope you do.
Do you believe?
But yeah, no, I had a great time. Anyway, I think we got some great material.
For sure.
At the end of our time away, you'll quickly, before we pack up and leave, you'll compile and post it so that we can be listening to it,
Throw it in the Dropbox for us.
Yeah, throw it in a Dropbox folder and we kind of just listen to it. And sometimes hearing it in that context, like on the drive home or the next morning, feels like I'm hearing it for the first time. Like you're so in the process and you're putting it together and you like what you're hearing and okay, cool. Good or not good, like don't know, just like this is what we're serving up. Like this is what satisfies our souls, our ears, and the lyrics, and then I'll get in the car and drive home and I'll be like, Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, because we're just in the thick of it sometimes.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear it now. You know?
But I think you're hearing it in the moment.
Probably. I mean, but it's some of both.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's some of both, right?
Yeah.
Since,
Well, because I know we're making it, but I was
well,
wondering.
I guess the more involved I've gotten in making it, then the less I'm hearing it, like, that in the moment and hearing it on the way back, on the way home.
Gotcha.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm playing them and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Now I know why I liked it, but now I know more of why I liked it.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
happens.
That's it, yeah.
It starts to solidify.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since now, like while we're making, it's, when the first time we recorded, I was sitting in a corner, and was waiting until we were playing something back, but now I still don't put headphones on.
Right.
I still listen to just one thing at a time. A lot like when Dan's doing doing a vocal,
Or even playing a guitar or something. You're not hearing the whole thing. Yeah.
And I really like that. I like that for our dynamic too, because sometimes I might hear something that we might have missed, or
Yeah, it's a different vantage point.
it sounded really good, and then without hearing it all together at the same time. So
Yeah.
I get to hear the pieces while they're being made.
And I've learned to like lean into that feedback from you, because you are giving a different contextual feedback, because I'm in headphones, I'm producing, I'm looking at levels, I'm listening to tone, I'm doing this and that, and you're performing something, so you're in this mode of like performing and working out part melodies, and then you're sort of like hearing from a different perspective, and you'll give feedback that something I didn't hear, or maybe something you didn't hear. And so
My favorite's like you saying a different word here.
Well, I mean,
or cadence.
I'd be like, no, I
He's
didn't.
big on cadence too.
You
You'll
saying
be
a
like,
different word. Oh,
sing it like this.
Okay.
yeah, the cadence will work. Yeah, and what's interesting there is I'm not hearing the
music.
click or anything.
Anything,
else,
yeah.
But I know what the cadence could be like. So
Or you'll hear when like the words are too jumbled, or there needs to be a breath somewhere in there.
And that's because we're capturing the idea as the idea comes out. So
Almost learning it and capturing
and then we're reacting to.
well, like with lyrics, when we get a melody and we start putting the lyrics to it, at that point I can usually hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like the way the lyrics match that, but I don't have to perform it. So I mean that's easier.
Yeah.
So I can hear it and see it. I can hear it in my head and see how. Oh no, this really does fit. I promise.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I hear this and I see that, and all right, let's go ahead and spit it out, and then take it from there, tweak it from there.
Yeah. Good. It's like we have a good foundation. I think that's a good foundation. Now, you guys did to me this time around what Bo and I did to you on the last album, which is the Make It Beautiful album, which was like, hey, take your voice and sing in a way that you would not sing usually.
Oh.
Or a way that would be pleasing or pleasant to your own ear of yourself. It's almost like styling your hair in the mirror. Like the way that you see it looking good but that doesn't mean, people see you in 3D. You see yourself one-dimensionally. And so that was interesting for me. And we don't have to like tee the song up or talk about that. We can leave a little mystique. But it was like, hey, sing it an octave lower than you would sing, and go down, several keys, and put your voice into this baritone,
And stay there.
and stay there, and don't go anywhere else.
Don't you dare leave there.
And I was like, really? And you guys were like, yeah, do that. And I'm like, which is what we did when we did Make It Beautiful, and just that record in general. You took yourself into a place where you had this.
Yeah, we can. And we did.
Yeah, we
and,
can. Yeah, I didn't think I could, and I didn't
that's-
think it sounded right, and I thought that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, no, that's.
And I'm
Great
still
collaboration.
relying on you guys to say that it worked. Because I'm convinced, because you are sort of until it's all done and it's I'll still probably question it. I don't know if you experienced that with Make It Beautiful, or did you, when you sang like, because then Jesus, we went down, Make It Beautiful, we went down.
Well, I think it's the initial reaction could be like, this isn't myself. This isn't me. And it's like, okay, that's dumb.
It is you because you're singing
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we
it's,
make identities around weird things.
Yeah, just because you don't spend a lot of time doing it this way doesn't mean that. Yeah, you're right. You could just assume that, oh, this is your one trick pony, or for some people, or whatever.
This is my key. I sing in D.
This is just what I do.
Yeah.
This is what I do. Yeah, I mean, I've had vocalists even in our worship team where it's like, oh, sing it here instead of there. Really? It's just not comfortable. So, I mean, I'm like, oh, it is very much you. And when you do this, like, I think you'll even enjoy it.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid we ever get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh. So in that, like what it was like for Make It Beautiful, it was new, but it wasn't like I was afraid of it or I had any kind of complex towards it. It was just like, okay, I'm going to do that.
Let me explore this.
I feel that. It's not can I do it? It's just like, let me look at these words again. Let me go there. That's what I love about music, is like when you can read those lyrics and and you're like, okay, this resonates with me. Like that's powerful. That's what
I trusted you. I trust you guys, obviously, and or maybe that's not obvious, but I trusted you in that moment because of Make It Beautiful. When we asked you to do that, and then you just trusted that and leaned into it and did it, and it's beautiful. And I love
I
that
enjoyed
song.
being on the other end of it then, like in regards to like, hey, why don't you bring this down here?
We might even have referenced Make It Beautiful. Go down to that range.
Well, we did make other song references. Do you remember? And I still think it needs a screaming, like, not screaming, but just a really good electric guitar solo over this song that we're talking about right now.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
ooh.
Oh yeah, a little juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Ooh,
like,
now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
I love a good juxt.
Yeah. It's just like, it's not that, but the thing is like when you listen to the song and you envision this guitar in there.
I just got the goosies.
Maybe you're not hearing that guitar throughout the whole thing, or maybe it's splashed in here or there, but it's like, even if it were just to come out in this solo in the middle of the song where it wasn't anywhere else.
Are we on the same song? Are we on the song that I'm down in the forest, just foraging for acorns?
Yes. It's like you're singing I Was Born from Shiloh Battles album, right?
Yes, that's a relation. That's a
and then like there's a lead guitar line in this song.
Ooh.
I don't disagree.
You just took me somewhere great.
Well, because the bass guitar line, I mean, not the bass guitar, but the
bass,
not the bass, our underlying guitar playing there is just, it's so simple. I mean,
it's a nice acoustic. It's just kind of
extremely
it's like fingered acoustic, just doodle-doo.
I know, because I was playing it.
We do have video.
Bo wrote, hey.
Yeah.
Why are we not celebrating this right now, right?
Well,
so Bo wrote the guitar line.
Yes, he did.
He wrote the rhythm guitar line for the song that we're talking about.
Yes, he picked up an acoustic and he started just kind of finger picking the acoustic, and I'm like, ooh, and we had these lyrics, and so it was sort of an amalgamation of my original concept and melody, which changed when Bo started playing it. But it was like you were working on, because you were outside on the deck.
Noise canceling headphones.
Noise canceling headphones. He was just. It was. I got a picture of you. You got the shades. You're just sitting there with the acoustic. You're writing, and Bo and I were in the other room, in the studio area, and he's just playing, and we recorded it. So I actually have a video of that.
Yeah. What was that like for you? Right.
Well, I brought the reason I actually brought it up was to illustrate the point of discomfort. So it was very uncomfortable for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like to pick up a guitar and play that. I do that most days a little bit. But to be put on the spot and Lucas going, I like that, play it, and then him singing,
putting microphones up,
yeah, setting microphones up in front of me and stuff, was uncomfortable. Him singing, much lower or in a different key than you would is uncomfortable. But this is the thing we know about. Like, has there ever been great art made from a place of comfort? Mm-mm. And the things that we tend to really enjoy about a great performance or, a great piece or anything that was made is that it was birthed out of some discomfort and being vulnerable. And so if we get comfortable with what we're able to do and what we know we're successful with, or what people like or what we enjoy, there's no vulnerability in that. There's no exposure. It's just, oh, hey, everybody's seen this and this is okay. So it's really safe. And I think there should be I think humans, we crave and desire the permission to be vulnerable by seeing somebody else step out, to be brave, or however you want to word that, and try something that maybe they're not comfortable with. They're definitely not comfortable with. So
being attracted to vulnerability.
So attractive.
Yeah. But as you're saying that, I'm just thinking about even just movie performances that have hit me to the core, and it's usually that. It's when the actor is so vulnerable and so uncomfortable, and it's you're almost sweating, because it's tugging at you in a way, and yeah.
So I coach preachers, and so people who stand in front of other people and talk for like 30 minutes at a time. And I always talk to them about, let's get as many tools in the toolbox as we can. And, you don't have to use them all, but you want to be able to use them all, not just, the things that are okay, that you're comfortable with, because then you'll be able to connect on a much broader level and really be true to what we're trying to communicate. And I think of that, with what we're experiencing musically or in this particular dynamic, that, it's like, oh, here's a tool maybe you haven't used. You're familiar with it. You know it exists, but it's the right tool for the job. So you finding the right tool and not just going, oh, well, I'm really good with a hammer.
I'm going to just hammer everything.
I'm just going to hammer everything, which is what a lot of preachers, that is a common preacher thing.
Yeah.
A preacher's good with a hammer. They're just going to hammer everything. They're just wailing away with a hammer when you really needed a Phillips head screwdriver or,
I love that analogy.
A wrench or something, something different.
Spatula.
Perhaps. Maybe a putty knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Plastic.
you.
The right tool for the job.
Yeah. And then what we tend to say is, I can't, or I don't know how. And it's like, well, let's learn.
That also speaks to you have to become uncomfortable to learn. So if you're just, well, this is not what I do, this is not how I do things, you're just forecasting, hey, I am only willing to do what I'm comfortable with, and therefore I'm not going to express any vulnerability.
Yeah.
I
usually hear it in the form of, that's not me.
It's just not me. Yeah. I don't think that.
And I don't
that's
ever
what
know what to
sparked
do
the
with
whole
that.
thing for me thinking about those I was like, the weird things we make our identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do we even know what is me? Like, that's not me. I mean, okay, maybe you haven't done it, but what does that mean? It's not.
Well, it means
It
it's,
could
it's
be
not,
you.
It
Could be you. Yeah. Right.
It could be, but it comes from a place of, that's not within my comfort.
Yeah.
And that's all I know. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. And it's like,
Yeah.
That's why you also need community and a coach.
Yeah.
A community can be that, but like somebody, that's not me. I see that in you. So let's do that. And to have somebody else see things in us that we don't see ourselves, it can be a really powerful thing.
It's what you're saying is so true. I don't think you get to where you could be without somebody seeing that and calling that out. I was sharing with the guys yesterday. It was a longer story, but just to be concise, it was basically, I was a young guy learning how to play piano. My mentor was just a world-renowned pianist, Boston Conservatory, Berkeley professor. Like, I could not play in front of him without passing out, basically like shaky, and we were doing this big Christmas show. He wanted me to play a piano part. So I brought my own little piano and I set it beside the organ. I was playing the B3. There was a choir, and it comes my turn to play the piano, and I just turn from the organ that I'm playing and I go down and I just start playing the piano that's right kind of hidden below the organ. He stops the whole show. He's like, no, I want you to come over here and play the piano where I'm standing. And I'm like, Oh, no, I'm good. I brought my own piano. He's like, no. And this is happening in front of everybody, 100 people. He's like, no, I want you to come play the piano. I was like, well, no, I brought he's like, son, you're going to come out from behind that organ and you're going to come play the piano over here. And I was like, my tail was like, whoop, and I'm like, okay. So I got up and I went over to the piano, and first pass, I'm like, my hands are shaking, vomit on my sweater, mom's spaghetti. And I'm like, and I couldn't even get to the song. And then he just put his hand on my shoulder and he was like, play it again. And that was the first time I played the piano in front of him in a room full of people. And it wasn't great, but I did it. And after I broke that barrier, I was able to then, eventually he handed over the entire music ministry to me. But it was like for me to cross over that fear threshold. Like, I'm not comfortable with any of this, and I'm going to stay back here. I'm going to hide behind the organ, and I'm going to play the little keyboard I brought because I can't play it. And he took me into the lobby later. He said, hey, I didn't mean to yell at you, but I love you, and I care about you, and I want you to succeed. I want you to grow, and you needed to do this. And I was like, thank you, and anyways, you reminded me of that. But the vulnerability was not fun. Getting yelled at in front of 100 people wasn't fun either. But
well, I totally get it, because the only reason I picked up the guitar and played was because Dan left the room.
Right.
I'm going to play guitar in front of Dan.
Son, you're going to pick up that guitar and you're going to play in front of Dan.
I mean, because you're so intimidating, and you're...
Dan will always point and laugh when you make mistakes.
He's mean, and why do you even try? No, it's because...
Why am I writing songs with these losers?
That's human nature. It's like...
No, that's not it.
Next time I'm going to be like, Lucas is going to be like, all right, Dan, go ahead and record the guitar. And be like, no, I'm going to go make a burger out on the grill. Why don't you have Bo play that?
I'm going to leave the room. Bo, why don't you play the guitar?
Well, just play whatever comes to your mind.
In this particular story, the question, Dan said, well, why? Because you re-recorded the guitar part, and you're like, why am I re-recording this? And it was like, so we can have it without mistakes.
Well, we also didn't play to a click track.
But I asked it because I didn't know that there was anything wrong with it.
But
we didn't break click track out. We just went. I was curious though. I was like, imagine if we just executed this and we didn't need a click track, and it was one of those songs that you just had. It didn't necessarily materialize that way, but we got a great take on it. It helped us learn it and helped me learn it. But
yeah, screaming guitars over that though.
Ooh, guys, you just
a ripping lead line.
Is it just? Yeah, it's not. Is it? Ooh, a lot of that going on.
A little bit,
actually. Comfort zone, right? So before we left, Dan, you and I were chatting. I was like, Dan, bring the electric guitar. What is it? It's not a Strat. It's the Telecaster. Telecaster. I was like, bring the Telecaster. You had forgotten it or something, so we ended up having to finagle a little bit to get it. But we ended up making some great stuff, like just putting you on the electric, which you're a guitar player. You can play electric guitar. But like a lot of times you're just playing acoustics, and then later on we're outsourcing it. We're getting people to play electric, so we're doing whatever. But you having that other color to paint with, like we ended up doing a song that was like built around just this like annoying piano lick I did, and then you playing this really soulful like electric part, and then so it was like, so I don't know if that was for me that was a comfort zone thing. I don't know if that's how it felt for you. We never usually did it, but
writing that lead guitar riff, that lead guitar solo for the other song that we're talking about would probably be more outside of my comfort zone. But I think I want to do it.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I think you should. But I will say, so being in the room while we were discussing all this, and you were writing the guitar line for the song that Lucas was talking about, you made the comment, why am I doing this? Someone else could do it better. And Lucas and I both yelled at you.
Yes.
And we almost came out of our chairs yelling at you.
Because you were doing something. You were like, it's happening, Peter. Like there was some
because it's like you played something really great and you're like, I don't know, it wasn't that good. I don't. And we're like, oh yeah, shut up,
like, dude,
keep doing that.
Well, because we were in idea generation mode, so it was like hit record. I'm just gonna riff this. You know what I mean?
The minute somebody says that to me, Dan, I know they're about to Picasso, dude.
Yeah.
Like I know it. Like when you said that, I'm like, oh, he's about to do something really. Because you're in the right headspace. When you're telling me, when I've ever heard, all my years of producing, when anybody, a vocalist or a musician has been like, just put that on, I'm going to try to figure something out. I'm like, if they're going to do magic right now, it's happening. That's what you were like. You're like, let me just play it. And you can't. And I'm like, you're like, I don't know. Well, that's it. Okay, now sing. This is like you do. That's when you're in a good space. When you're telling me I'm just going to try to figure something out, I'm like, his inhibitions are off. He's going to just do whatever comes to mind, and that's going to be the magic right there. We're not replacing that, is what I'm saying. That guitar stays.
Wow, good. All right.
Who's going to do it better?
No.
That's not the point.
It's not the point.
That's again, that would be like that. Those are the things that feed the insecurities. And
oh yeah,
can somebody do something more proficiently or quote unquote better or whatever? That's not the point. The point of a performance is the vulnerability and the emotional connection.
And I think I've experienced like both sides of that, because I think everything does come down to balance. So I've experienced an overconfidence in place of the vulnerability, like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna do this better. Like we got this. I'm not saying amongst this dynamic. I'm just saying over the years of creating, where we're talking about vulnerability contributing to the creative process. I don't think it needs to be self-deprecating, but I think the other side of that is an overconfidence or like, maybe even a cockiness that can come into what you're doing, where it's like you're just exclusive and there's nothing else matters, no input matters. So I think that might be the other side of that seesaw.
But the only way to get there is if you're only functioning within your comfort zone.
Right, because as soon as you're uncomfortable, you're not cocky. There's no over, Yeah, that I feel like it works itself out.
Antidote, all right.
In that regard.
If you
that's
just
fair.
stay with what you're good at and what you're,
then you could be the guru of that. Maybe
you can start to think that way or
think
feel
that way,
sure. Yeah. And that may not even be the real problem with it. I mean, it's a problem, but the bigger problem will be that the lack of vulnerability and the emotional connection that comes from it. So it ends up being really flat instead of having depth. It might be proficiently really good, but.
And that's what I hear in that guitar performance. I hear vulnerability in there. Sorry, go ahead.
We have world-class drummer in our town, and I know him well, and he's very good drummer, very, very good drummer. And asked him to come and play in one of our services. You want to talk about somebody that was like just expressively outside of their comfort zone.
Oh wow!
It's like, you want me to learn this and do this way? Dan, I don't know if I can do this. Like, what do you mean? Well, I could play anything, but like there's structure around this in a way that like it's not that what I'm playing is difficult, but it's just to be able to execute exactly that. It was just like, it was unfamiliar territory all of a sudden.
They were used to more just like free-flowing?
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, you're an amazing drummer. Come and do. He's like, all right, I just hope it does these songs justice. I hope you guys, I was like, wow, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you're doing it. He's like, oh, I'm having a blast. I'm like, I can tell you are. But he was just like thrown off by,
Did he execute?
Yeah, he executed and he did well. He did better than, if you ask me, he did better than like the recording of the drums that were even in the song to begin with. But,
right. Made it his
own.
own.
It was just, but yeah, just it was just it was unfamiliar to him to have to kind of just because he's just such a great drummer and he creates parts and he's a studio drummer, so he's all over. He's doing all these things and it's really just flowing out of him. Like whatever the beat is always great ideas, always, and it's like, hey, I want you to play this. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Can I leave notes for myself on what to do when? I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay.
See, that's cool because yeah, somebody who might have gone, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I'll try.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I don't do that, but I'm willing to try it.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Work at it.
So a lot more of, no, I don't do that, but I'm willing to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Replace our I can'ts with I'll try.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the wonderful things that have begun with the words, I can't do that. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, here's how to. And then they come back and it's like, oh.
Let's give it a try.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tools in the tool belt. I love
it.
Just imagine
I use
that all the time, too.
Yeah, just imagine if you were like, for your whole life, everything you couldn't do, you never tried.
None of us would be sitting here. we would not be sitting here, none of us.
That's the thing. You don't know how to do anything.
You don't know how to do anything when you're born.
So it comes from trying and failing.
I don't know how to walk.
And getting up. And
Yeah.
I can't walk.
I guess I'll just crawl. I can't crawl
I
either.
can't crawl either.
Guess I'll just lay here. I'm good at laying. Good at eating.
Let's apply the same thing to creativity and develop tools for the toolbox.
Mm-hmm.